Yeah, so for whatever reason, I'm just not able to do with the old switch the screen thing. It's an iPhone 13, but I still haven't figured it out yet. Hey, there's Nick. He's also very well caught up on these, and there's Gary, our finance manager, all having a good time here on Saturday morning. But yeah, back to this beautiful truck here. So there it is, the F-150 Lightning Lariat, carbonized gray. Let's go for a tour. Just like all the other F-150s, you get the power locks, windows, mirrors. You will get the sliding mirrors and folding mirrors. It does have the blind spot monitoring. I mean, for safety equipment, this thing has it all, including the new Blue Cruise, which I don't think a lot of you have seen a lot about out there in the advertisements, but it is going to be a new technology that's available for Ford. It's going to make this truck completely 100% autonomous, just like the Teslas. It's amazing. I think they're basically waiting for the highways and the byways to get voted in as a completely safe highway, and then it'll be enabled. There is somewhat a semi-autonomous mode right now, which is, it does allow us to turn on the Blue Cruise right now, but it's very limited because of the roadways. And basically what it's going to do is fully on drive for you. It's going to do the braking, the gas, the steering. You don't have to do nothing, but you do have to pay attention to the road at this point. So you can have it on semi-autonomous where you have just a little bit of hands on the wheel, and you don't have to have your eyes on the road so much. But I do believe this highway here in Campbell River going to Nanaimo is going to be voted in fairly shortly, and it will be fully autonomous. Like, you could just basically daydream all the way to Nanaimo. So, but I'll get more details like that in the future as information comes. But for now, have a look. Of course, you got the power seating, lumbar support. It's really nice two-tone. So you got a gray, black, leather interior. Nice leather wrapped steering wheel. You'll get the power telescopic, the power pedals, electronic lock, emergency brake. You will get the spotlights on the mirrors, automatic lighting, all the essentials you get with the regular F-150. But have a look at that. I mean, there's a bunch of videos of these things out there right now, but it's absolutely amazing to see in person. It is a 12-inch wide digital display for your instrument panel, and the 15-inch digital display for your HVAC system. So you'll have your heating, ventilation, air conditioning, all the different options for the vehicle. There's a lot to go through when it comes to this, but you can kind of get a good idea just pressing a couple buttons. Of course, you got normal and sport and an off-road mode, and the sport mode is something else. I tell you, I don't know if this is a good idea for me to have one of these trucks, just due to the fact that it's too much fun, if you know what I mean, and you can get yourself into trouble pretty quick. But if you're just a casual driver using it as a tool, this thing's amazing. You got a bunch of different camera modes. So you'll get the front and rear, the 360-degree camera. You get parking sensors. Like I said, this thing drives itself, so you got front and rear parking sensors, so it's nearly impossible to crash anything. It'll beep at you and then actually apply the brakes going forwards and backwards. So it's a beautiful thing. You only have to worry about the other people hitting your car. That's all you got to worry about. A little bit of information here about the sport mode. For spirited and engaged driving, enhance vehicle acceleration, performance, and driving dynamics. And boy, does it ever. With the off-road, it says yeah, we've gone for a couple drives together, me and Nick, and it's pretty wild, this truck. There's not much more than just wow coming out of our mouths right now. Like I said, I mean, it's the coolest truck ever made, I would say, 100%. Another cool feature we haven't seen on any other vehicles that we've had come in yet is this onboard scales, which is really nice for people that aren't so sure about their I'll disclose all this, aren't sure about their payloads and their camper weights and all that good stuff. It's going to give you a trade measurement, not intended for trade measurement usage. Be aware of the additional weight and passengers outside of the vehicle while loading, but it does give you that. Look at that. I mean, it's going to give you an approximation up to 1,675 pounds of what you got in the back. I mean, firewood, you got the kids' bikes, motorbikes, you name it. most of the time, a lot of people travel around a little heavier than they think, and this is going to help you stay balanced, of course, in this truck, and stay legal if anything were to occur. So it's pretty neat. It'll actually kind of show you off the tail lights as well. Same thing, it'll go up in 1, 2, 3, 4 bars, and you can do it either way, right off the digital display or off the tail lights. It'll read you how close you're getting to the 1675 pound payload, which is the max for these trucks at this point. I do believe the Pro model will get up to the 2,000 pound mark for the payload, and all the way across the board with these extended range or standard battery, you're going to be able to tow 10,000 pounds. So that's as far as I know so far. Smart hitch is another cool one we really haven't seen yet either. It's just it's gonna help you set up your trailer a little bit smarter. A lot of people, like I said, they just have to go straight to the manual and kind of figure it out one step at a time, watch some videos. This will guide you step by step as to the best setup for your trailer, whether you got hydraulic over electric braking or whatever have you. The car is actually on right now, and I'm going to crank up the fans for some AC. All touchscreen, all digital, all beautiful. They've dropped all the buttons completely, except for the parking button. So this truck, like I said, is pretty much fully autonomous. It will park itself. You got your traction control button, and a max defrost down here is mechanical button still. The rest is all done digitally. Very well done. Ford definitely put some serious thought into this, no doubt about it. It does have the trailer backup assist, of course. Your good old mechanical brake controller. Wireless charging ports. You got the UBC and the USB. This one does come with the fold down and the office space. Very cool. I mean, obviously that's designed for doing some paperwork, signing some contracts, get some space for your laptop. But you know, a lot of the contractors do spend a lot of time including lunch in their vehicles, and I'm sure this will have a couple good picnics here and there. But it gives you lots of workspace is what it does. Over here we got the new F-150 cubby hole, your glove box. It does have the Bang & Olufsen sound system, so it's an upgraded sound system again in the Lariat. But it's really all about this good stuff right here, you know. I mean, the real good times, other than the fact that it goes 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds, it's all about this incredible autonomous driving. It's available in a lot of the other models the Ford lineup has to offer, and it's pretty wild. The new technology they've come up with is kind of looks like this. Let's see if that can focus. You just set your cruise, pick the distance you want to be from in front of you. You can see that circle says it's ready to activate. As soon as it starts reading lines and the traffic around you, that circle will go blue, and you are pretty much in the blue cruise mode, which means you can go 100% hands-free. The only thing it really wants you to do is keep your eyes on the road, so you can't actually be staring up at the moonroof or looking back at the kids at that point, because it will warn you to get your eyes back on the road, which is of course makes sense. You shouldn't be driving anything in this world without paying attention 100%. So, but it does give you a little bit of a, you know, it does drive the car the most optimum pace. So the braking will be done electronically and through the program. The acceleration optimum. Again, like I said, you don't have to change your brakes over a lifetime, so it's going to be saving on the brakes, the energy savings, the safest, most paying attention version of this car. You know, it's going to be paying attention probably more than you ever have. I mean, we all get pretty lackadaisical in our driving just due to the fact that we do it so often, and you can attest to the idea that one day where you drove a kilometer and you can't remember how you got there because you were, you know, the time passed so quickly, you couldn't believe that, you know, you can't remember a single thought in that last minute, whatever it was. So it's good for that kind of daydreaming type scenario. It's going to be amazing when we're actually voted in and we can go from A to B without ever putting the hands back on the wheel at all, or the eyes on the road kind of thing. The Tesla, I know that they had an issue with people putting the sunglasses on to make it look like, you know, they're pointing forward, but they're actually kind of looking out the windows, which I don't believe they want you to be doing. You can see it has a detector right here. You can see it flashing. That's the blue cruise detection, so it's going to detect whether you're paying attention or not. And of course, it's again right in here. It's not lit. It's not coming in on this camera or whatever. I guess it's not turned on this one. You know, that I think I might have learned something new here. I think that's more like the detection sensor, and that's why this is kind of hidden behind here, which is a little bit confused as to why they put the sensor bar behind the big screen. But yeah, slowly figuring this out. This is the first one we've had arrive here, Vancouver Island, Sea Marshall Ford, Campbell River, and we're just kind of getting to know it, play with it a little bit. I mean, there's lots of cool stuff that does go on in these trucks, and I'm not really going to touch at this point. But anybody else see that they got the game thing too? That's pretty cool. Cool for the kids if you're at the ferry, you know. Oh, you grab the car and just give her, eh? Huh, neato. What? I hit something. Oh, I see. You get points. I better hit some points here. There we go. I'm back in the game now. Boom. Oh boy, my eyes went high. So they give you a little. I don't know how the game works yet, but pretty cool. So the onboard hitch or the onboard scales and the smart hitch are brand new to me. Zone lighting is available in our Lariat F-150s. You can pick each side. First you gotta turn it on. You get your front lights going, side lights. If the wife's coming up on the side of the door on a dark night, you can light it up for her. This is something I really haven't gone through at all, but once you do set up your station at your house, you'll need the Ford Charge Station Pro to be able to access the generator back into the home, and of course vice versa, where it just charges the truck. But it will be technically always charging or backing up your house. So pretty wild, especially for out in this neck of the woods where you got a lot of different people live out in the middle of nowhere, and the power does go out quite often. And man, if you could ever get your hands on one of these trucks, you'll make some new friends real quick out there. I guarantee you that. I know this video is getting long. This wasn't intended for any quick watch, and I'm just kind of doing the Jerry Johnson review on the F-150 Lightning. So it's interesting, you know. I mean, it's amazing. I'm really digging this truck. If there was more out there, there'd be you know, if I had a line of these to sell, there'd be a lot of people at the door. I can guarantee that. There has been quite a few orders put through. They're all coming. So anybody that's watching this that did put your order through with me, they are in production and they're en route. It's gonna take its time. When it gets here, you'll be thanking yourself that you waited. It's got the big twin panel moonroof like anything else, but for now I think I kind of touched it. If you got questions, it is a very fresh item, new to the Ford lineup, and I'm excited about it. So if you need to, you know, figure something out, I'm here. I've got one here live. We can touch it, feel it, drive it. We can figure things out together, whatever it takes to get you guys excited about ordering one up. Yeah, one more thing I'm going to show you is the we'll go outside. It's got the big front LED daytime running light that'll be on permanently, and then you got the projection LED lights with the LED daytime running lights as well. But this is the cool part right here. They're calling it the frunk. It's an official term. They have put it in the dictionary. It's official. It's called a frunk now, which is brand new word everyone's using. It's actually quite a useful frunk. It's got the AC 120 volt 20 amp 2.4 kilowatt access point. So you can see you got the USB, the USB-C. You will have a reset button for the generator right there, and of course some outlets so you can use your power tools. Has a 400-pound capacity, so outside of the liters per square inch, you are at a 400-pound max at the front, which is quite a bit of weight. I can see this being used as a permanent spot for your golf clubs. Of course, all the wet gear when you're out at the beach, because it's easily rinsable. You can just rinse it all out, and it drains right down the middle. And they kind of put a lot of thought in these, just like the Broncos. They did the little hooks, so you can just hang your groceries. You know, I mean, this is a truck. Remember, you got the tonneau covering the back, and then you got your groceries up front. You're just happening. I mean, they thought of it all. Pretty cool. And I know there's a million videos out there at the Lightning, and everybody knows there's a frunk, but this is the first one I see Marshall Ford, so I thought, you know, we're gonna cover this thing. Carbonized gray rims, the new flashy running boards they came up with for Ford. Those are pretty cool. I mean, I wonder if those will be available for anything else, because they did a pretty neat job with those. The light off the back there, that was a good little thought. I mean, it's just kind of gives it that electric feel. Something we notice here, which I'd have to probably do a little research on, but you can see the springs are on an angle, so obviously they're thinking about balance points, and you know, the batteries are the only real weight, and they're dead center of this vehicle. They're not really quite as big as I thought, so that, you know, it's really well balanced and handles really well this Lightning. Here's your Lightning badging. The big LED brake lights, the backup lights. It's all a beautiful thing for sure. And then of course you got your power tailgate. Tailgate step. Got all the goodies in the back, just like the typical F-150s nowadays. Sliding rear glass because it's the Lariat. This one came with a bed mat, and we did add the spray and bed liner. I mean, it's properly done, that's for sure. But those are options you can get, whether it's dealer installed options or factory options. But they can add whatever you want to these things. But there she be, guys. That is the first tour of the Jerry Johnson Ford F-150 Lightning. I think I'm gonna start making little videos, like with just little things, like I'll pop up a weird something that I find, you know, as we go along. I mean, we haven't really got to play with this a whole lot, other than drive it once or twice, and it's pretty exhilarating. Everybody that gets in it is pretty amazed that this is actually a real thing. So I think the next video will be probably some of us going for a little cruise and getting some people that just kind of react to the 0 to 60 in 3.8 seconds. So anyways, Jerry Johnson, Steve Marshall Ford, Campbell River. If you got any questions about the Ford Lightning, or you'd like to see anything in detail, I'm here for you. We have this truck permanently on hand for test drives and good times. So if it's something you're interested in, order and banks will open up in about 4 to 5 weeks, and get your order in, because it's going to fill up quick, and then we'll be on to the 2024 orders as well. So the sooner you get it in, the sooner your truck gets here. If you got any questions, concerns, comments, feel free to call me directly anytime. My number is 778-348-4103. My name is Jerry Johnson. This is Steve Marshall Ford, Campbell River. Bye for now.